Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Gorilla Press Wrestling News and Commentary, our YouTube channel. I am your host, Josh, where we're bringing you all of your favorite wrestling news from all of your favorite superstars. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is our SmackDown recap for 7/2/2019. This one, compared to last night, you guys, was a little bit sad. It didn't hold up to last night. You know, social media last night was just absolutely popping on Raw. I mean, hell, it was buzzing all day. You know, about the Braun Strowman situation. There was a few other cards. Yesterday, I was able to confirm that yesterday was kind of sort of Paul Heyman's first day on the job. I think it showed. I think it showed tremendously. I think the buzz was just unbelievable. Paul Heyman is basically going to show the world that he has an unbelievable mind for this type of business, and I'm really excited. You come into tonight, and it's like, what happened? How are you gonna go from a 3-hour show, keeping my ass in the seat, to a 2-hour show, can't wait till 7 o'clock? I really don't understand it. It's kind of a bizarre situation. You know, I do know that Eric Bischoff isn't set to step into his role until later. I was thinking that possibly he might kind of get the ball rolling tonight. That didn't really happen whatsoever. Kind of a disappointing night, to be honest. It was really boring. So let's just go through everything that went down, and then we'll talk at the end. First, right off the bat, you guys, we had a KO show. KO comes out right off the bat, wants to interview Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre, basically call him out for being, you know, scared of The Undertaker. They were interrupted by Dolph Ziggler, and KO gave one hell of a promo against Dolph Ziggler, basically saying, quit bitching about me, you know, it should have been you, it should have been this, it should have been that, and whatnot, what have you. Great promo. And they basically wanted another title shot. Shane said he wasn't going to give either of them a title shot. Wound up putting them into a tag team match with Heavy Machinery. Whoever wins that match gets to go on to be in a now triple threat match for the tag team titles against Daniel Bryan, Eric Rowan, and the New Day. That match took place later. Next match we had Big E and Daniel Bryan. A pretty good match. Big E performed quite well, you know, as the powerhouse that he is. Eric Rowan got involved, as usual. Daniel Bryan was able to hit the running knee on Big E. He ends up winning the match. Now, the next segment, you got to kind of see Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross walking down the hall, and Alexa decides that Nikki Cross is going to actually host the the moment of bliss for her. And so Nikki Cross was the guest host of Moment of Bliss, and her guest was Bayley. In a very weird, kind of not really thought out way, Nikki Cross challenged Bayley for a match. Bayley accepted. This time Bayley won. It's really that simple. And in the next segment, you guys, we got a surprise appearance. And it's kind of a interesting surprise. I didn't think I was going to see this ever again. But that's right. We got a Stone Cold middle finger. Samoa Joe and Kofi Kingston had a nice little promo, really good promo between the two of them. In the middle of the ring, excuse me, in the middle of the ring, going back and forth, Samoa Joe basically said, if you shake my hand, knowing that I'm going to be the next champion, I will leave everybody that you care about alone until Extreme Rules. Instead of shaking his hand, Kofi gave him the middle finger. Samoa Joe got pissed off. Before he can attack Kofi, Kofi winds up hitting him with the Trouble in Paradise. That ends that segment. Next segment that we had, Apollo Crews and Andrade. Kind of a short match, no big deal. Andrade gets the win over Apollo Crews. Next matchup that we had from there, we had Ember Moon versus Mandy Rose. Now, if you remember, last week she actually lost to Sonya Deville. This week she goes up against Mandy Rose. Ember Moon actually got the win tonight with a very impressive Eclipse. That move is incredible. That's a great finisher. Ember Moon won. Moving on. Move to the tag team match, not title match, but the tag team match against Heavy Machinery, KO, and Dolph Ziggler. And this match started up. Now you had New Day in a Nickelodeon orange announcer desk full of pancakes. And you had Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan sitting at the other announcer booth. And they're basically just sitting there, going bickering back and forth, just talking shit to each other, back and forth. Until finally all shit hits the fan. New Day attacks Daniel Bryan, Eric Rowan. They go back and forth. Rowan ends up basically choke slamming or iron clawing Big E through the table, or Xavier through the table. Who cares? They wind up going through the table. Everything goes to commercial. We get to come back, and they restart the match completely. Match is going great. There's a spot. Dolph Ziggler missed a super kick, hit KO in the face. KO winds up getting the finisher from Heavy Machinery, the compactor. Heavy Machinery wins. They go on to a triple threat match at Extreme Rules. KO is extremely livid. And Dolph goes to pick up KO, and KO basically gives him the stunner and just goes completely berserk. He starts saying stuff that they actually bleeped out, that they actually blocked out on the show, which is why I don't understand why they missed the middle finger, whatever. And that ended the whole show. Now, if you're like me and you go back and you listen to the things that I just said, it really was that bland. It really was that boring. There really was no exciting moments. There wasn't anything worth talking about. SmackDown, if Raw is starting to already do that transition with Paul Heyman, Raw is going to start to trend. And Raw's going to start going up. If they don't do something with SmackDown, it's going to fall flat on its face. And because here's the thing. When you're looking at a show, and then you got a mirror show on the other end, if this show over here is doing better than this show here, then you got a problem, because you've got one outshining the other. And to me, it's a very big deal, because you're downgrading one of your other shows. You're not giving it the opportunity to succeed like the other. I think bringing on Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman is a great idea. I think they should have moved Triple H up, because I personally believe that Paul Heyman's a genius working with new guys. I think Paul Heyman would have been phenomenal working with new people. He would have done great in NXT. Triple H would have done fantastic with Raw. He would have been phenomenal with Raw. Eric Bischoff, I don't really know how well he is with noobs, because look, I mean, WCW was full of old farts. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I really don't know how he would be able to make that kind of transition. But who knows? I mean, he's been around the business now for a good while. He may be very decent at it. However, for whatever reason, they decided to keep Triple H down at NXT. They moved Paul Heyman up to Raw, moved Eric Bischoff to SmackDown. I think it's a genius move, because we're finally going to get the point of view of somebody other than Vince McMahon. Why did this happen? Well, it's quite simple. Vince has the XFL coming. With that coming, he's going to have people running those shows. That's the reason why. There's a lot of speculation as to why he's doing this. Well, is he just doing this so he could point the blame on somebody else instead of himself when he's actually the one making the decisions? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I actually listened to, I'm not going to say their name right now, but I actually listened to a podcast, and that guy was a joke. I think it was a really pissed off podcast, and I really think he was upset for a lot of the wrong reasons. And I actually truly believe they're Paul Heyman and Bischoff are not there to fuck around. They're there to get some shit done. Heyman's even already come out and said that he doesn't want to come out as a manager or a Raw manager. You know what I mean? Like a general manager. Because he believes that whole storyline is dead. And I agree. They need to shine the stars that they already have. They don't need to build these guys up anymore. These old timers that aren't going to do anything. They need to move on from them. So it's going to be a pretty serious deal. If it fails, yeah. Does Vince have somebody to blame? Absolutely. He has them to blame 100%. If they fuck it up, they fuck it up. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. So at the end of the day, SmackDown tonight was a bust. It was a huge bust. Especially coming off of yesterday's high. And then you come into SmackDown all excited, ready for a phenomenal show, and you wind up with a complete and utter buzzkill. So, at the end of the day, I give this show a 2 out of 10. It really pissed me off. I really think they could have done better. Unfortunately, the promo at the beginning with KO, Shane, and Drew was really good. The promo with Kofi and Samoa, really good. They, in my opinion, those were the best parts of the night. The wrestling tonight wasn't outstanding, you know. It wasn't like something that I'm gonna remember tomorrow or the next day or really give a shit to remember. So at the end of the day, it was what it was. I'm really not that hyped on it. I really don't have much to say about it. They keep mentioning the Braun Strowman situation. They did have a promo tonight with Bobby Lashley, and he's getting better, so to speak. And I did hear of a rumor today. I really don't know how much of it is true, but the rumor mill is that Braun Strowman has slowed down, meaning speed-wise in terms of running and those real big running power moves. And the rumor mill is that the reason why that has happened is because he's injured. And I'm kind of curious as to if this spot was to take him out for a little bit, to rest him up, get him better, do the things that they need to do. I don't know. Future will tell, but but they did announce that these two are going to fight again. I really hope they do, because that Falls Count Anywhere was one of the best ones I've seen in a long time, and it was short. It was really, really short. So, other than that, I don't really have much to say. You know, I hate to make this a really short show. However, what else is there? What else could they have done? A lot. They could have revamped. I mean, they had no guests tonight, whereas last night they had guests from NXT. They had the NXT Tag Team Champions there. You know, they had all kinds of things going on. They didn't have the 24/7 title there. They teased it. They teased the 24/7 title, and they never did anything with it. Last night, R-Truth lost the 24/7 title to Drake Maverick. And then tonight, he mentioned to the interviewer that he knew Drake Maverick was on honeymoon there in San Antonio, which is where SmackDown took place. And they didn't do anything with it. They didn't go out, you know, onto a beach in the middle of the night or something and take him on or anything. They just left it there. Like, what the? They're not even going to be in the same town next week, so what is that going to matter? You know, if he's here in San Antonio. I don't know. They dropped the ball on a lot of stuff, and it was really disappointing. I really hope to see more out of SmackDown next week. Hopefully they'll see this kind of a flop, and then they'll make it right. We can only hope. But for now, that's pretty much what I got, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Gorilla Press. I am your host, Josh. We will see you at some point this week. You guys have a great, great night. Thank you for tuning in, and you have a good one. All right, guys. Bye.